what the hell. Let's start. Okay, welcome to a new class, the Unbounded Mind, where we cover meditation and its practical applications, right? Now, first thing we have to understand is that meditation is, in essence, a technology to evolve your consciousness, okay? With that, there are new skills and new abilities that will follow course. They're just naturally unfolding as you expand your awareness and the control over your mind, and mind with a capital M. Okay? Now, I covered in one of the last classes that sound pre-exists form and thought pre-exists sound, right? When it comes, excuse me, when it comes to the refinement of your consciousness, which is nothing but rediscovering who you really are or what you really are, there are certain geometrical structures that when you meditate on them and look at them and allow yourself to be pulled into the structure, they will have a naturally, refining effect on your consciousness and what you're able to do. So, what is this based on? Any object that we come in contact with, any kind of object resonates with us. That also applies to people and geometrical structures. Okay. Now, geometry, as well as mathematics and sacred geometry, of course, is the language of this universe, right? So when we expose ourselves to certain geometrical structures, namely certain mandalas out of the Hindu system, you could say, they naturally have a refining effect on the consciousness. The exact mechanism I'm not completely sure of, but this is what I know. As you look at it and as you allow your awareness to expand, you get in contact with a pure form of being. Okay. Now, the mandala that I'm talking about is basically the Sri Yantra. Sri Yantra, it's spelled Sriyantra, and I'm going to give you an assignment after this class where you should look at the Sri Yantra and use it in the way that we're going to cover in this class. The Sri Yantra is, like I said, a mandala that has different layers, and they correlate with your chakras. As you look into it and gaze into it, your mind is naturally going to be producing certain brain waves. Okay, this has actually been tested. When you look at the Sri Yantra, there are certain brain waves triggered that increase your understanding of things and also refine your consciousness. Okay, so a geometrical structure alone can trigger different states of consciousness. What will you experience, or what will you experience as you do that? Now, first of all, as you look into this mandala, there is a sense of coherence that is created, and if you allow yourself to go deeper, you will actually get closer and closer to the core of this, reality soup. The seed sound of creation is actually, okay, this is the first sound that was ever made and done. Of course, not by a human being, but it is the sound that you hear when you get very close to the source in your awareness. There are a number of things that you have to do in order to get there. And for those of you who were on the Grail of the Serpent lecture, you're going to have an easier time understanding this, which is stilling your mind, stilling the thought process, okay, and just being aware and purely being. And at the base of that mind chatter is pure awareness that permeates everything. And that awareness can go anywhere, okay? That awareness, being connected to a certain geometrical structure, can take you anywhere. And that Shriyantra, in essence, symbolizes and encodes the structure of the universe, but in a very, very simple and easy form compared to the magnitude of things that we see. Okay? You will enter kind of like a nexus of thought, sound, emotion, and it's all very pure and blissful. Okay? So this is what you should go by. Also, as it is a kind of like a key that unlocks everything, you will be able to do many things that, you will remember how to do many things that you are not aware of now. It's all done by a symbol, Shriyantra. Okay? It allows you to connect to different currents. It allows you to access pretty much any spiritual current that you want, because it symbolizes, infinity, but at the same time, the first spark of creation. It's pretty amazing. It's a beautiful mandala, right? Now, what I also want to cover is how to use these different states. Okay, meditation in itself is just a tool to take you into different states of consciousness. However, how you apply these states of consciousness is up to you. And I want to show you a couple of applications that you can build upon. What we're going to do is going to give you an idea of what you can do with it, and then you can take it, experiment with it, and do many, many things more. Okay? The theoretical knowledge and the theoretical understanding is quite important, because the rational part of ourselves needs something to operate or to navigate the inner world. Okay, but once you understand that, you can use your intuitive side and apply yourself in a way where you'll be able to do things that many people would say is not possible. Okay, so what we're going to do is, first I'm going to show you how to get into stillness. How to get into complete stillness, what you will experience, because there are different stages of that. Then it is about how to use that intention, pure mind that you will experience in stillness. In this class, of course, you're not going to get to very deep levels, but it's all about practice, a consistent practice, and consistently meditating. You will build up on that, but it will go faster than you think. And at that point, it's just a matter of putting your intention towards whatever it might be, whatever you want to see in your mind's eye, whoever you want to see in your mind's eye, wherever you want to be in your mind's eye. This is like the first stage of astral travel, because if you go just a little bit deeper, your astral body will actually start to go there. Your energy flows where your attention goes. Okay, so if you just keep your attention there for a little bit, your astral body will go there with it. And I'm also going to introduce something else that I'm not going to cover just yet, but throughout the lecture we're going to do that. Okay, so that's the assignment. After this class, the next couple of days, meditate on the Shri Yantra. Meditate on the Shri Yantra. And if you want, you can even look for like the contrast effect. Meaning, go through your the first half of your day without meditating on that, and then sit down and do that meditation and see how it actually changes your awareness and what it does to your mind and your consciousness. Okay. All of the Vedas, all of the mandala signs, all the mantric signs and all of that, they're just tools to refine your consciousness. It's a technology to help us evolve. It's been given to us by more evolved beings that wanted us to see, or that wanted us to develop ourselves. Okay? Once again, we're not just doing this for ourselves, we're doing this for the whole collective. Keep that in mind. This group here is not just, we're not just working on ourselves, we're working on the whole. It's a morphogenetic field. The deeper we go, the easier it is for others to follow. Okay. Now, the first thing that we need to do is, once again, we should do a little chakra meditation just to help cosmic energy flow through the system. Okay, I know I sound like a guru, but it is actually true. It's cosmic energy. Okay, now sit down, comfortably. Stretch out a little bit. Get the tension out of your system. I'm going to get this out of the way. See this? And this is about as much as I can show you from my... And no, I'm being told not to show it. Okay. Alright. It's about as much as I can show you about my Palo stuff. It's what I have to wear when I do work in that tradition. Okay. Alright, I'll sit down. Keep your spine semi-straight. Close your eyes. Keep your hands. They shouldn't touch. They shouldn't touch. Keep them on your lap. So not like this, right? We're not saying a prayer to Jehovah. We're having it here. Let the breath come and go as it wants to, and just observe it. Just observe the breath coming and going. Allow your eyes to close if you haven't closed them yet. Let the breath come and go as it wants to. Quite naturally, your breath has deepened already. You're first gonna, if memories come up, memories, emotions, whatever, all the confusion and all the turmoil that goes on within you. Just observe and let the breath come and goes at once. Now realize that that awareness through which you are perceiving and observing the breath is actually everywhere. This awareness is within all things, everywhere at the same time. With that awareness that is everywhere at the same time, observe the top of your head. That awareness that is omnipresent is observing the top of your head. And when you get distracted, don't worry. Just come back to that awareness that is actually everywhere. And observe the top of your head with that awareness that is actually everywhere. You might see light, you might feel energy pulling or pushing down from the top into your body. Whatever it is, it's okay. And in order to activate it, chant the sound Now this awareness that is everywhere at the same time observes the center of the front of your head, not from the front and the back as well. Mind you, this awareness is not limited to your physical body, so it can be everywhere at the same time. And it observes your third eye from both sides at once. It is silent awareness. It is that which is observing behind your thoughts and impressions. Now you might see purple light, which is good. It's your third eye, the Ajna chakra activating. You might feel pressure. That's a sign that it's still blocked. All of that is okay. Don't worry. In time you're going to open it. Now as you have your awareness on it, chant the mantra Zo Hong Kul. those are enough for now. I'm going to start broadcasting in 2 minutes again. And I want you to just take notice of what has changed in your perception, okay? And how it relates to these different chakras. And I'm going to start broadcasting in 2 minutes once more, okay? See you in 2 minutes. Okay, let's continue. What happens most level insights, okay? So whenever you feel confused, whenever you feel you know, and we all go through that at some points in the day. We're like, shit, what do I need to do now? I can't see the clear path. I'm confused. This is when you should tune into both of those, okay? You can use them specifically. They're like gateways into the level of reality that gives you insights about higher level planning strategy. And later on it will become your gateway into the other world, where you can see into the other world. Okay? So use these. They're actual, kind of like your arms in the physical. You can use each chakra for specific purposes. When it comes to the higher ones, they're used for insights. When you want to connect to somebody on a very deep level, use your heart chakra. Tune into your heart chakra and connect to that person. When you want to impose your will onto somebody, tune into your Manipura chakra, the one here at the solar plexus. Tune into that to impose your will onto that person, your will. When you want to trigger sexual feelings in the other person, it goes through the sexual chakra. So you tune into that. Okay, so each of those have a specific purpose, and you can use each of them for a specific purpose. Okay. Now we have triggered these two chakras. These are the ones that we're going to use mainly today in this meditation. Okay. Now you should experience a bit more clarity, a bit less mental chatter. And you should be able to be more attuned to abstract ideas, if that makes sense. Okay. Now, as we covered these chakras, we're now gonna go into awareness, pure awareness, okay? And how to get to that level where we can be receptive, purely receptive to what might come out of other levels, okay? Now, once again, sit down. Sit down. Close your eyes. We're gonna use the mantra. Which one? Which shall be the vehicle to get us there? Aum. The mantra Aum. Once again, return back to pure awareness that is everywhere and anywhere. And from that level of pure awareness, that omnipresent awareness, intend to think this mantra, okay? Aum. Intend to think Aum. quite automatically you would be taken deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Allow yourself to go deeper. Allow yourself to flow deeper. Now, at one point, the mantra will disappear, and it will have taken you into a state of pure awareness. Give yourself the time. Give yourself the time. Become aware of the fragments of memories, thoughts, and fears, and concoctions, and planning and whatnot, what goes on in your mind at all times. And just let it go and understand that you are that which is observing it. You are not that. You are not it. And from that level of pure awareness, intend to think, Aum. It is incredibly liberating to know that you are not it. Just let yourself go deeper. If pressure builds up in your third eye, that is alright. Don't resist it. Don't resist. Don't resist. Just be. Return back to pure awareness. And intend to think, oh. this mantra is taking you into silence, and it's taking your awareness into a state of pure being. From the silence and omnipresence, remember that the mind is omnipresent. Whatever you intend to see, whatever mind intends to see or go to, it can. Okay. Come back. Open your eyes. Now you might not have been in complete silence yet, but this is a matter of practice. It's a matter of getting used to that. However, what you should have experienced is this liberating feeling when you tune inwards and let go, and this pure awareness becomes more and more the center of your attention, which is what you actually are. You're just temporarily in this body. And it's an incredibly liberating experience to not be forced to experience what the mind will come up with, because it wants to keep you safe, so it tries to point out things that might be a danger or a perceived threat. Alright, and this is going on in the mind and the subconscious at all times. It's completely obsessed with keeping you out of harm's way. So whatever is even remotely a threat will be concocted on or built upon. This happened, this is what it could mean, and so on and so forth. However, you're not forced to follow that. Okay? You're not forced to follow that stream of thought and to experience all of the emotions that come with it. You can let go and allow yourself to drop and to just be aware again. Come back into pure awareness. Okay? Come back into pure awareness. Some of you might have experienced pressure in your head, specifically those who are or have been meditating for a little bit. And I could go into details about what the sensation comes from, but it's in essence just different parts of you being activated. The parts that are connected to more subtle layers of your energy body. And it's in essence your third eye and your spiritual sight opening. Okay. Now this state and this level of awareness can be used to zero in onto something, just like you used your intention to think a mantra. Okay, you intend to think this mantra Om. You don't brutally focus on it. You intend to think it, just like that. You can use that intention to just tune into something. Okay, so let's say you wanted to remote view, and when you remote view, you don't know what it is. But let's say you wanted to see how somebody's doing you care about. You will go into the same state of awareness, this unbounded mind, and in the same way you use the intention to think that mantra, you intend to see them now. You can also hold on to the intention to see them in the future. You can also intend to see what will happen in your life in the future, next year, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Time is of no consequence, because mind is omnipresent and timeless, everywhere at all. At the same time, you can see the past. You can see, you can tune into another person's thought process. You can tune into their dreams. You can enter the consciousness of another being. You can even become one with a plant, with a rock. You can become that. You can also tune into a specific spirit. This is how you would strive for it. You can travel into the spirit's kingdom doing that. And the only, how should I put it? Depending on how long you stay in that intention, the more intense the experience will be. So, from starting at remote viewing, staying in that intention, naturally your whole awareness will be pulled there, and you will astral travel there. Now, for now, you're gonna have to do this with your eyes closed, okay? Because what comes from the physical is still very distracting to you. But at one point, you will be able to walk around and do the same thing. You walk around, go for a walk, and enter a state of unbounded awareness, unbounded mind. At that point, everything that's around you spiritually is going to be visible to you. It's going to enter your awareness. Okay? You all might have had the experience that you were thinking about somebody, and you picked up on that. You were thinking about that person, and they called you. Okay? Or all of us had that experience before, but it's, most people think it's coincidence, but you can actually, intentionally trigger that. Okay. It's gonna be like this. You're walking around, and you're in this expanded awareness, and you hold the intention to see what's behind the corner, and you will see what's behind the corner, who's coming your way. You get glimpses in your inner sight of who's gonna come. You get or what's gonna happen. Specifically, or when you lay down to sleep, you will be shown what might be significant tomorrow, next week, next month. These are all, some people call this superhuman abilities. It's not. It's naturally unfolded within all, or like dormant within all of us. It's just a matter of getting familiar with these different states of consciousness. And this is exactly what we're going to do now. We're going to practice remote viewing a little bit. That's what we're going to do. We're going to remote view. And then we're going to start reshaping what we see. How do you discern between things that come out of your imagination are actually coming out of this quantum hologram? When you actually receive something from the spirit world, or from this thing, it's there's no block here, no more pressure in your third eye. It feels like energy flowing through it freely, as well as here, your crown chakra. Energy will flow freely down here. No more pressure, just a free flow of energy. Okay. And it feels as if it is flowing inwards. And at one point you're going to be able, because you've done this so long, it will be one stream of consciousness. So when you fall asleep, it's just another state of consciousness, but you are aware in it. And you're going to remember it throughout all of it. You're going to be able to tune in like this. And this is by the way of how it looks, because you're tuning inwards and you're allowing yourself to receive from more subtle levels. You'll be able to see auras, you'll be able to see spirits, you'll be able to hear them, you'll be able to go wherever you want. And you'll be basically tuned into multiple data streams of different realities. So you'll be in multiple ones at the same time. You'll be omnipresent. Okay. Also, you will be able to take certain objects and take their information into you. Okay, because it's already you. Mind is omnipresent, remember. Mind is everywhere. And you're just accessing that and pulling it out of it into your conscious awareness. And you can also affect it. Just with that intention. The same intention that you use to think the mantra. That intention focused on something else will make it so. Will make it so. Okay, now let's start. Enough talk. Okay. Okay, now it's down again. Spine semi-straight. And let me take you there. Close your eyes. Put your hands on your thighs. And observe your breath. Let it come and go as it wants to. Any thought, just let it go. When it enters your awareness, just let it go. Remember, you are pure awareness. Become awareness. Awareness that is everywhere at once. Be the awareness that is everywhere at once. Mind, pure mind. Just observe, be aware. And realize that this awareness is everywhere. It's the same awareness that is within me, within you, within everything and everybody. Every tree, every animal, in fact, every rock. Everything. Now I can see each and every one of you. On a one mind. Now your unbounded awareness, this unbounded awareness, focus it on yourself next week, this time. Energy is going to flow through your third eye into your head. You're going to see yourself next week, this time. This unbounded awareness is seeing you next week, this time. I can see myself. I'm standing in a room. There's suitcases on the bed. Whatever you see, you see. Now let's go a little further and focus this unbounded awareness on yourself 2 years from now. And I can see myself standing on a balcony, it is my house, my mansion. Not alone there though. Now, focus this unbounded awareness onto somebody that you were, that you didn't or don't have a positive relationship with. Now, focus this awareness of a harmonious relationship with that person. What you're going to experience are these knots in your stomach being released, these feelings of these resistance. This is the same thing that happens whenever you affect something, when you cast a spell. Your inner blocks are going to be removed so that your inner reality can match your outer reality. Now, focus these unbounded awareness on your ideal outcome for next week. Don't try to concoct or strategize about what the perfect outcome will be. Just focus on the perfect outcome, the intention of the unbounded awareness on the perfect outcome. The rest will put itself together because this is higher wisdom, higher intellect than your mind that is doing it. It is mind with a capital M. Okay. And as you stay in that intention, you will see what it is, and you will feel the energies within you, the knots in your stomach realigning themselves to match that. Okay, now please come back. Now, most of you will not have seen it as clearly yet, or as clearly as I described them, but you all have the potential to do that. It's just a matter of practice. What you need to understand is that this unbounded awareness, this, unbounded level of awareness allows you to do so many things. And at that point, you will understand the concrete meaning of as within, so without. Because this mind that is within everything, being intended to create something by you, will not just, it is within you as well as the other person, or within everything. So you become that mind. With that mind, you create something. You will be affected, and the other person at the same time. That's why when you do a ritual, it is not you doing that anymore. It is not Frank, this being, that is doing the ritual. It is this unbounded awareness, this unbounded mind that is flowing through me and you and everything, anything. Everything is one thing. And all of the restructuring within you to match that frequency or to match that outcome will happen automatically. Well, because you don't resist, because you are everything. And the outcome will then match your inner reality and vice versa. Now, this in itself is a very powerful tool to use. And it all relies on this one simple thing, which is stilling your mind and becoming unlimited awareness or unbounded mind. You will be able to put things together, pieces together. You just ask and you shall receive. That's what was said in the Bible, right? Ask and you shall receive. What is meant by that? You become infinite mind. You put your attention towards something, wanting to know. Show me this. Let me know this. You can put together perfect things. You go into the state and you hold the intention of this unbounded mind towards a certain insight, a certain, let's say you have to create something, you know. We have the designers here, costume designers on this call. We have writers here. We have artists here. We have, business people on here on this call. All of you can use this infinite state and just put it intend to receive what you need at this point. You're an artist. You don't know what to paint next. Put this unbounded awareness. Put the intention on the perfect piece that needs to be created right now, and it will put itself together. You will receive by this unbounded mind, the infinite mind. You're a designer. You don't know what to do next. Use the same thing. You're a writer. You have to put together a new website. How should it look? You just ask and receive. This is creativity, like on the spot. You don't have to wait for insights or creative streaks anymore. All your, dry phases will go away. Also, before you go into a social situation, we have a lot of pickup artists here. A lot of pickup artists. Before you go into a social situation, sit down. You have a date. Sit down in meditation for a couple minutes and put the intention of this unbounded mind onto the perfect outcome. The perfect outcome. It will put itself together. You will see it in your mind's eye. You will feel the feelings of it having ended perfectly. And then you will go out and you will know. And as such, it will have to manifest. It will. This is applied, a couple of applications for this. For this ability that we all have. Now, besides it making our lives easier, and besides it being used for, this is not a lecture on the occult and magic, right? I'm not going to go too much into spirit contact, but I want to show you a place where you can learn from me at all times. Once again, mind is omnipresent, mind is everywhere. And I will guide you into a place where when you want to learn from me, you can go. Just go there. And I will transfer what I know onto you in that place. Okay? Once again, not as a guru, but somebody who has just done this a bit longer than you. And as I'm teaching you, I'm teaching myself, and everything is benefiting from that. Okay? So let's go there. Let's go. Let's go there. Close your eyes. Become aware of your breath. Become aware of your breath. Let it come and go as it wants to. And you might notice that it gets quicker and quicker. This is fractionation. This time you have a much easier time getting into the state and being relaxed. Let the breath come and goes at once too. Let the breath come and goes at once too. Just be aware and observe. Now realize that this observer is actually everywhere. All times, all places. Pure awareness that is within all things. Now put this infinite awareness, put the intention of this infinite awareness onto a place where I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you there. It will be a place in the mountains, far away from civilization. I'm waiting there for you. I can see Tom there. I can see a Christian is there too. Nicholas. Wasi. Denisa's here, but she's not aware. She's sitting to us with her back. She's not seeing us. Just fine. Now whenever you, once again, this is happening outside of space and time. Here I can teach you all the time. Whenever you need to know something, whenever you need guidance, come here, come here. This is a place. To receive, and I can take you as far as I know the path. And you might not see it yet, but that's not important, because it's just a matter of staying in the state and going a little bit deeper. And you will awaken on the astral, on this cave with me. My teachers used to send me a blessing in this state, which is what I'm doing now. I'm sending things to you that will unfold over time in your consciousness, it will help you awaken more and more to this. I'm sending you this. All my memories, all my insights, all my experience may be transferred. So that you may progress faster. Yeah, so remember that. Remember that. When you are stuck, when you need insight, guidance, come here. Come here. And I'll take you as far as I can. Okay, now come back. Okay. We'll take a 5-minute break. And I'll broadcast in a couple minutes, like 5 minutes. I'll be back, and then we'll continue. Okay. Well, the third eye feels like this. I'm not completely sure what you mean, but it feels like, at first, it feels like pressure like in the center of your head, like right around there. When you let go, and then it will turn into a stream of energy. You will see purple, and if you stay with it a little bit longer, it will open up as a channel, and energy will flow through it, unrestricted. So the pressure is a sign of block. You know, whenever you feel pressure in a chakra, it's blocked, but not blocked in a sense where you just have to go a little bit deeper, where you can then allow the energy to flow through it freely. In order to have cosmic energy flow through the chakras, you need to get out of your own mind into unbounded mind. You know? A new set of senses will be awakened at that point. Spiritual senses. Someone told me the third eye can be overcome by delusion itself. That's what you're referring to. Yeah, you could definitely call it that. I guess. I guess you could call it that. Delusion. Yeah, it's the mind working on itself, or like yeah, deluding itself. God, even though I talk a lot about spirituality and all of that, um, yeah, never mind. Okay, do people ask me about my pentagram? Um, yes, but more often than that, people have their preconceived notions about that. So people impose more on me than they ask me. Some of them, pretty much everybody knows what that stands for. So many people ask me, "Are you a witch?" And they try to pull me into discussions about all kinds of spiritual topics. And some are very interested. I wanna do that too. Some are like, "Stay away." Some people hate my guts. Uh, stuff like that. It's a statement. It's really a statement. Could you repeat the basics of the Kujikiri, the finger elements? Okay, let me answer the question after that first. Why is your pentagram not inverted? Well, why should it be? Why should it be? Let me answer that with a question. Why should it be inverted? Um, the basics of the Kujikiri are basically mudras. Every finger um, stands for a specific element. But not only that, you have a subtle energy system that runs through your body, okay, the meridians. And by stimulating them through pressure, you can call upon certain energies, you know, and you can strengthen certain elements within you when you need them. You can call upon a certain energetic quality. You can also cast little spells. There are, certain symbols that you can cast into the air, and they will, you know, break down the barrier between the worlds for a short amount of time. So you can cause like very strong illusions in people's minds, stuff like that. So it's sorcery. Kujikiri. Do you have any experience with marine spirits? Yeah, the spirit of the ocean. Yeah, in many traditions actually. Yes, yes. Yeah. Spirit of the ocean is Kalunga. It's the it's one of the oldest consciousnesses on this planet. It's where we originate to an extent. So, I mean, what do you want to know about it? What its qualities are? The spirit of the ocean is usually, in most traditions, it's about life itself. It's about, man, this is a deep topic. Can you be more specific? Then I can answer it more specifically. Does the spirit manifest as a shark? There's a reason for this question. Every creature of the sea is a manifestation of it. Is there like an underworld with like mermaids and stuff like that? Underworld with mermaids. Well, not to my knowledge. Not to my knowledge, but I never claim to know everything. So, from at this point, I would say no. How do we look on the astral? I'm curious. You look just like you do. You know, you look like you. look like you, like yourself. On different levels, yeah, you could have a different form, but can I use TAT while in a meditative state to enhance setting? And yes, yes, because in a meditative state, you are more relaxed, and your mind has uh, less of a grip on you. And when you use TAT in that state, it's usually more effective. Yes, you will, but the experience will also be more effective. Or I mean, intense. And coming back to what I said before, man, I'm getting to know. How should I put it? I deal with a lot of spiritual people, but I just received a message from somebody who was like, "Damn, these people are like so nuts. It's really they're caught up in this really crazy conspiracy stuff." What is TAT? That's tapas acupressure technique. It's a technique that you can use to resolve trauma. If you YouTube it or Google it, you will find instructions on that. Tapas acupressure technique. TAT. Tapas, TAPAS. Acupressure technique. Okay, yeah, of course. And I've heard you mention Atlantis. Did that actually happen? Is that a well-kept secret? I ask. Yes, Atlantis was a civilization predating recorded history and a well-kept secret. Well, I mean, pretty much 90% of the people that you ask on the street have heard about Atlantis. I don't know if that's the definition of a well-kept secret, but Trojan War too. What do you mean with the Trojan War? If that happened, of course it happened. Trojan War. Yes, that happened. Yeah. 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 That's yeah, but that's pretty recent history. Achilles was real. Well, not like in the movie, but Achilles, yeah, he, he was real, and not like in that Troy movie. Uh, but man, what did I want to say? Um, do you also experience decreased need for food when working with Lucifer? Um, yes, but quite that happens quite um, with magic in general. When I'm taking out a day or two to only do ritual, at times I forget to eat and I forget to drink, really. So at times I'm like, the whole day passes by and I realize, damn, I didn't even eat anything, didn't drink. So it's just because you're so removed from the physical. I guess that's the point of that. That's why it is like that. But when you like come back after like intense rituals, um, you get very hungry because it takes up a lot of energy. But there have been times where I didn't eat for like 3 days. Yeah, I had water and coffee, which is more important to me than food, of course. But yeah, yeah. And time flies by, man. I could do this all fucking day. Could do this like a week long and not miss anything. It's just beautiful. And all the hormones that you like, the endorphins that are released into your bloodstream. It's a trip. It's really cool. It's like the best drug there is. It's really cool. Yeah. In meditation, I've been asking what is holding me back. Do I need to know the reason in order to be here? In um, well, here's my take on that. Okay. In order to remove those blocks, slippery slope. I would say if you don't know the reason, just go for the best end result. You know, you should start programming yourself and programming outcomes. Really, that's the point. I mean, it's usually like a conflict that you have within yourself, and the conflict has multiple reasons. It's not just one. You know, one part of you wants this, another part wants this, another part wants this, and it's mainly about streamlining all of those things. So go into a state of consciousness, what we just did, and hold on to the intention of the best possible outcome. At that point, the different parts within you will have a debate, you know, like a debate, and they will come to an agreement. Really, it might take a couple minutes, but you will not feel that friction anymore, and you will not feel that block anymore. You will be able to actually go for what you need, and if you don't know it now, you will know what you need. This will also be shown to you. Really, it's in essence asking your higher self. You know? Do you know much about how the magical abilities of Olympias, the mother of Alexander the Great? No. Her magical ability? No. Not really. I heard she was a sorceress. Possible. Possible. Yeah. No, I don't know too much about her. I know that she told her son that that he was the son of a god, right? That's why he was so fearless, Alexander the Great. But yeah, but even the Romans, never mind older cultures. Even the Romans, they would divine like uh, how their battles would end. They all had sorcerers with them all the time. That wasn't even to them. That was very normal to do things like that. More consistent work with Satan makes me super sleepy during the day while very energized at night. Yeah. Okay. Is that usual? I would say you're just a nocturnal person, man. You live in Prague, right? It's the same time zone, and it's 3:45 a.m. right now, and you're still wide awake, just like me. So I think you're more of a nocturnal person, but that has actually a meaning, because there are certain people that are nocturnal, and that we have a certain energetic quality that is, more in alignment with these energies, like Satan and whatnot. So, uh, you know, I'm I'm not an evil person, but I'm a dark person. Now, what does that mean? Darkness is always with me, and that's why I'm most productive and alive after the sun goes down. And you're probably the same way, I would say. Probably very similar in that respect. The conclusions about that are up to you. I don't think it's Satan. I think it's just who you are naturally. I mean, a good indicator is, did you hate school because you had to get up at 6 and didn't wake up until 9 or 10 a.m.? And then you went home and had a nap. That's a good sign. You know, school really, oh my God, man, I fucking hated this. I was always pissed, in a bad mood. Man. Getting up at 6 a.m. to go to fucking school. And nobody was in the mood. I swear, everybody. uh, oh man, all my teachers probably thought I was like a moody prick all the fucking time because they only saw me when I wanted to sleep. Did you ever curse a teacher? Yes, I did. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah. What happened to him? He got expelled for not rape, but what was it? Like sexual advances on a student. That's what what he got expelled for. And I did multiple ones actually. Um, schoolmates too. Schoolmates too. Like people in my courses and whatnot. Yeah. One teacher, but Lou Frank was causing havoc. I wasn't that little back then, man. I was more like 18. Did some of them drop dead? No. No. I never killed any of my teachers. No. 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 One female teacher, uh, she, no, I used Belial, or I asked Belial to basically make her like respect me more. Yeah. But generally, I can't really complain. Most of my teachers actually like me. When tuning into the unconscious field, is it just as powerful as nature and indoors? Um, well, nature can help. It's an easier access, but it's not necessary. It's always like kind of like crystals or something like that that can help, but they're not necessary to do these things. Kind of like obelisks or sacred, they're like sacred sites. They're all helpful, but they're not necessary. It's just about magnifying the power of what you do. If you would, for instance, if you went to like Egypt or even Washington D.C., where you sit inside of an obelisk, these structures. You sit there as a man. You would pull like masculine energy into you, and that will be magnified like manyfold. It's just like a you magnify these things, and it's just an easier access point, you know. But it's not necessary. But nature definitely can help. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Sacred sites can help. You know. How do you identify and target unknown magical attacker? Identify. At this point, I would just, I would throw, well, here's how I would do it. I would throw, like when I feel something, I ask my muertos what's going on. They will tell me. Then I can also do some divination. but it's not even that necessary. You know, when you, how should I put it? When you are very good at this, you can just tune in and ask who did it, and you will see the face. You will see the face, and then you can send it back. You can send it back. You can. A good way to send it back is, oh man, you can use their own elements against them because you are within that, you know. But the easiest way is always to go into their mind and to influence them in the way that you want them to be, you know. At one point, there's a realization that the person that has a lot of enemies is actually an amateur, you know, because he hasn't realized yet that he can just as well turn that person into his friend, you know. Is it best to send it back or cancel it out to avoid going in a battle back and forth? I would always send it back. I would always send it back. Ask Satan to send it back to him. Ask Satan to send it back. Yeah. Does everyone have spirit guides? What are some basic methods of contacting them? Well, you know, I'm sure I did like 2 or 3 lectures on that. So if you go to the subscribers group in the Grail of the Serpent, look for the replays. Look for the replays, and I'm sure you'll find me elaborating on that quite a bit. I'm sure. Okay. You know, man, I always look high after meditation. That's why my teachers thought I would smoke so much weed. Can this be done for another person as well? How to go about that? Well, the person is being attacked. Well, I'm reluctant to answer this question here because this is not on magic. This is about meditation, but okay, I will answer it. Now, if another person is cursed, first of all, you have to find out who did it. Secondly, yes, of course, you can. It's all about symbology, right? You create a puppet that is that one person. You create a puppet that is the attacker, and then you in this expanded state of awareness, you impose the image of the attacker and the person on the 2 puppets, on the dolls, and then you transfer that energy onto the other person. Okay. And that's basically it. You can use mirrors, for instance. Okay, you have the puppet here, and you use mirrors around that person, around the puppet of that person, and everything that this person is sending is being sent back. Okay, and within that circle of mirrors, you would put like some ashes. Use charcoal and salt. Use charcoal and salt. Okay, you use a mix of charcoal and salt, and sprinkle it on the person's or on the puppet that represents that person. That way, the energy will be absorbed, and then the mirror will send back anything that is coming their way. Okay. You can do a remote cleansing in that way, or you get some. No, that's too much. No, never mind. Yeah, that will work. I've done that myself multiple times, so that definitely works. By the way, guys, do you have a problem with the streaming? How's the streaming going? Is it like, um, is it streaming well? It's perfect. Okay, great. All right, cool. Good to know. Fuck Tiny Chat, by the way. Do the reptilians meditate? I'm not gonna go into this, brother. Okay. Matrix Reloaded. Okay. Do the reptilians meditate, man? I'm not gonna go into this. Okay. Sorry, but I'm not gonna answer this question. While in a meditative state, can we physically write our desires to manifest them faster? Yes. There's actually a pretty good manifestation process that is basically based on that. And I think it will even be enhanced when you're in your meditative state. By the way, it's helping program the mind. Yes, exactly. You're programming it, and at the same time, you're resolving your subconscious programs, and you're prioritizing the goal. So yes, of course, that would help. Yes, I think that would help. But you don't even have to read it. Write it. You can even just say it. Say it to yourself. Kind of like a mantra. With the guys in the order, a couple of them, I showed them a process that is very simple. It's kind of like this. You have a goal. On a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of difficulty, until 4, you just say it 100 times a day, the desired outcome. And with those who are more difficult, like from 5 to 10, you would have to write them 100 times, and then they will manifest. White paper, blue ink will help it manifest. You could use blue ink for like prosperity stuff. Yes, that might be true. Yes, but when it comes to other topics, different colors are better. But if you're referring to prosperity, yes, blue is definitely better. Blue might help. Blue might help. Blue might help. I'm curious, who of you actually could see that cave that you were invited to? And who of you could actually see like into the future and could remote view, or at least got glimpses? I saw something resembling a cave for sure. Okay, great. Could you project your mind into the future? But it was more of a Tibetan temple. Well, that's actually what it looked like. So that's pretty accurate, actually. And those of you guys, I know some of you are, are corresponding, and you're working on your remote viewing stuff. Nicholas, Tom, and others. Keep doing that. At that point, you will realize where you impose things and where you don't. Okay. It's all just a matter of practice. It's all just a matter of practice. So our circle of grass surface and a rock. Okay. Kept projecting my thoughts on what I wanted to see, interfere. Yeah. It's okay, just keep going. Just keep going. It will all unfold. Okay. I think I'm gonna take like 2 more questions and then I'm gonna wrap this up. Yeah, once again, the next lecture will be done at the usual. Do I write what I want to manifest 100 times, or what you told me specifically? I've been writing. Sources in control of this planet. Who are they? Do they do group rituals? I didn't see the complete question, Glory Hog. I think that's Amir. Um, just stick with the instructions that we covered in when we were having our call. Just stick with that. No need to change it. Okay, great. Yeah. Do I write the goal as it has already manifested? Yes, you write it as if it has already manifested. Nicola's answer in terms of the people controlling the world, group rituals, man. Yeah, but they understand that there's no difference between. How should I put it, man? Control. See, the world as we experience it is the manifestation of group consciousness, of the collective unconscious of mankind. That's society, you know. So the way the world works is a manifestation of group consciousness. So what they do is just they every fucking Hollywood movie is a massive group ritual, you know. They implant something into the subconscious of the masses, and that will then manifest, you know. So that's their magic, that's their sorcery. By the way, Hollywood, the name, I don't know if you're familiar with it, or if you know where that comes from. Hollywood is actually a plant that the Druids would use to divine the future, you know. So Hollywood is showing you what will come in the future. Gangsters. Yeah, gangsters, very smart. Well, I'm not completely sure about that, but it's cool. Okay, well, control people's minds, control their imagination, send them through a school system where they're taught not to use their imagination, not to use these natural skills, and, you know, give them enough fear and shit to worry about, and you got them, man. Feed them bullshit food that keeps them lazy and, you know, stupid. Give them stupid TV shows. Give them, you know, give them something to hate. You know, either Muslims or, you know, black people or, you know, any kind of threat, and, you know, they won't look for liberation. You know, it's just what it is, man. That's how the world runs. Yeah. You know. I've noticed now there's a lot more shows about magic and demons, even a show called Lucifer, and it's actually quite interesting. Yeah, that the system is breaking down. It's absolutely breaking down. See, the funny part is when, see, Lucifer actually brought, like, EA and me together, and EA coding, and he contacted me and then said something about Lucifer. And I then did a divination for him, and Lucifer came in. Without he telling me, Lucifer came in and told me to tell him something, so he would know that Lucifer is a connection between the two of us. So I told him something that nobody else knew, and Lucifer had told me to tell him. And he was like, damn, this is like, I saw an email where he mentioned Grail of the Serpent, and yes, we're actually working a lot together. And This then developed into this massive ritual, and there's a lot going on, like on other planes that we're doing together, you know, and man, where did I even come up with that? Lucifer. Yes, one of the, Lucifer was coming through a lot, and he was manifesting in all kinds of stuff, and then like TV shows, like when you were watching, I would like almost every YouTube video that would click on, the ad would be like for the new show on Netflix, Lucifer, Lucifer, Lucifer everywhere, wherever I looked, and it's crazy. Songs that would play that were like Jay-Z, like Lucifer, son of the morning, all this stuff, everywhere. It's like he was really coming through. So the point is this: yes, the system is breaking down slowly. Yeah, of course, it's not sustainable much longer. People are coming back to their power, and Lucifer is a main force in all of this. Lucifer reigns consciousness, and once again, this channeling that I did, he was saying, life will show you how light means connection to the source. You must prepare yourself for an enormous influx of the freedom to perceive the other worlds. What that means is that the veil is becoming very thin, and light, consciousness, awareness, it's multi-layered. It's not that simple. But there's a lot happening, man. We're going to see a lot of changes in our lifetimes. Is the show worth watching? I've never seen a single episode, man. I've never seen a single episode, to be honest. I don't know. But I'm sure they're not going to talk too much about consciousness, enlightenment, and, extraterrestrial contact. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to wrap this up, guys. Thank you for being on. Thanks for attending this. Hope you got something out of it. Do the exercises, please. And, yeah, we're going to talk soon. Next week will happen at the usual time, but from my hotel room. And, yeah, as always, peace out. Take care. Thanks.